Hey everyone, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for Project Life. This is week 31, so stick around. Hey friends, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. Thanks for being here for week 31 of my Project Life album. It's a 9x12 gray album I get from scrapbook.com, as well as these page protectors. And here are all the items I've pulled. It is again, stash busting week using Studio Calico items only, I think. So I have pulled from my cards. I spent a lot of time this past week organizing all of my Studio Calico embellishments and cards, and it was easier for me to find a color scheme that would work, and I went with red and blue for this week. I'm going to be doing a summer vacation album later on, so I didn't include a lot of photos in this particular week because it will be much more zoomed in stories being told in that other album, so stay tuned for that. But I just decided to go with the flow as far as colors, keep the basic color scheme, and just have fun. And I say this like every week because the reason I've been stash busting is Ali Edwards has had a lot of issues with the shipment and the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. So the monthly kits haven't been coming. They've been held back, and it's forced me to use my stash, which is such a blessing because I have so much stuff from the last, even just 2 years. I can't imagine being a scrapper for decades, how much stuff I would have accumulated by now. So it's really teaching me to use my things and to be more particular about what I buy. So anyhow, that's just I'll get off my soapbox. So I thought this was the perfect title card. It's funny, I never thought I would use this card, but this is my inspiration for the whole rest of the spread as far as the colors go. And I was like, well, this is perfect because there's a big picture of the sky when the kids are jumping in the pool at the bottom of this page, and then the photo to the left of it has a view of, me reading my book but by the pool, and I just felt like this title card worked really well. So of course, the sentiment, it's a good day to have a good day, is perfect. I have these puffy foam alphas and numbers from Citrus Twist, and then some random chipboard pieces. I think the geotags are Studio Calico, but as are the labels and all the little die cuts, and then that open heart chipboard is actually from Ali Edwards. So then the photo to the left, like I said, is the book I read. It's the only physical book I've read this year because I was saying this in I think it was my Hobonichi flip through video, that I wanted to be able to hear Nora at the pool. And if I have my earbuds in, obviously, if there's something going on or she needs my attention, I want to be able to be attentive. So I picked this up at BJ's and I didn't expect anything of it and ended up loving it and reading it in like 2.5 days. This big beach ball, to me, I think these are beach balls. I don't know. So, but I have this Trip Highlights chipboard that I used my Zig Clean Color Dot marker to add bullets and just journal about all the highlights from the week. So I've got, my Week in the Live blog went live on Ali Edwards' website, which was a big deal. Very excited about that, very humbled and thrilled to be a part of her community in that way. Saying that we were able to have our own air-conditioned cabin. The cousins looked cute in their matching t-shirts, which was the photo I was just working on. Despite Justin, Nora's oldest cousin, taking off with his friend, Nora still had fun with the other cousins. Matt made a delicious meal. We took wild golf cart rides, and that's it. On the bottom row now is this 4x6 photo of the girl cousins jumping into the pool. So I'm spelling out jump with those alphas. And on the left, there's that color block card that I spell out cabin-ish for SHIT, because, and then the chipboard that says you got this, and I wrote with my darker gel pen musical cabins at 11 p.m. because, it was a big mess, but essentially our brother and sister-in-law ended up packing up and leaving at 10 o'clock at night and driving the 2 hours back home because the kids could not sleep. Our air conditioner unit was not working well, and there was only one in that cabin, and it was extremely hot. It was like 90 degrees with 90% humidity that day, so the kids couldn't sleep, and I called maintenance. They ended up moving us to cabin 2 buildings down, and which had great air conditioning, but it was kind of not the cleanest. I don't know if like it hadn't been professionally cleaned or what, but it was kind of it was a situation. And by the time we had moved into our new cabin, it was like, and had unpacked and remade the bed sheets for the third time, I think it is, because you have to bring your own bed sheets with you. It was almost midnight. So that was a little rough. It was a rough start to our trip. And then Nora was a mess because, her cousins left and we didn't know if they were going to come back, and it was a whole thing. But it ended up turning out okay. The next day I went down to the office in the morning and I talked to them and let them know what was going on. And I did my mama Korean thing, as Nora would call it. And I convinced them to give us another cabin, which there happened to be one right across from us. Oh, here it is in real time, the finished spread. And they gave Kit and Tully the same cabin right next to us, and they had their own air-conditioned cabin. So it worked out well, but it was a rough start. And then now I'm working on the right side. So there's this picture I took of, that's Nora's older cousin Justin and his friend he brought because, he's the 13-year-old boy now, so he's not going to want to do all the things with all the girl cousins. But they did play Uno for a little bit because it was raining in the afternoon one day. So that's what I spelled out there. And then on the today journaling card, I wrote about all the pool time we had, Matt making a delicious dinner of steak and chicken kebabs with rice and roasted veggies, and then he served it with hummus and pita, tzatziki sauce, and garlic sauce. It was delicious. Despite it raining, he managed to like bang that dinner out, which was awesome. The benefit of having the two cabins next to each other where there were two grills right next to each other, so he was like double grilling, so it was really fun. When you're cooking for like 18, 19 people, you gotta have more than one grill, right? So, and then I talked about how I was driving like a psychopath on the golf carts, and the cousins kept begging me to take them for crazy golf cart rides, which of course I obliged to do. Then this middle row is a grid photo of us at Cedar Point. Matt, Nora, and I went on the way home. It's our tradition, and we stay overnight. We didn't get there till 2 because of the rain. Rained quite a bit. And then we stayed till close at 10 o'clock, but we managed to ride, I think like 6 roller coasters, but a couple of them 2 times in a row. So that's what I am going to just list out on this color block card here that I'm spelling Coaster Freaks. And then using my clean color dot marker again to list out all the names of the roller coasters. And then I just wrote that we were at the theme park till 10 o'clock. Behind that, I'm going to tuck a little tag because there's no photos or journaling yet for the day before all of this. So between, or after this rather. So between the day that we left Cedar Point, checked into our hotel, and then drove home on Friday, I just journaled. So on this little tag, I wrote that, we checked out in the morning and got on the road. We stopped at some outlets for Nora to get some tube tops that she wanted. And then Matt had his first ever Shake Shack burger, which was a win. If you've never had one, they are delicious. And I just stamped the date for that journaling, which was August 1st. Then the last row is a big journaling card and then the picture of a selfie of Linda, Jen, and I, because Saturday, so basically we got home, I think it was Friday night. What time was it? It was pretty late. I want to say it was like 8 or 9 o'clock. I unpacked and passed out, and then in the morning I got up, got ready, picked up Linda, and then we drove down just 45 minutes south of where we live to meet up with Jen because it was stationery store day, and we knew that there was this little stationery store that had just opened not too far from us, so we figured we'd make a little just short mini planner bestie day. So I'm going to embellish the card because that selfie was taken in the alleyway of Alleyway Ice Cream, which was delicious. Apparently it's the 34 best ice cream place in the country. I don't know by whose standards those are, but it was very delicious. My flavor was ube with Heath Bar Crunch, which sounds weird, but was so delicious. And then I'm journaling about just the things we did. We love to get together and shop and window shop and sometimes actually buy things and get some coffee or chai and a snack and go into a bookstore. It's just like we love doing those things and chatting and catching up. So I just journaled about that on the card here, but I screwed up the date. So I'm just going to cover it up with this title that says Adventure Log. Easy fix. And then stamp the date instead on the bottom. It was August 2nd. And then I remembered that I had one little sticker on my Stationery Store Day sticker sheet that said Stationery Store Day. So that was the perfect little subtitle or title for the journaling. So that is going to wrap up week 31. As usual, these videos are very quick, so let me know if you've got questions about anything that I talked about or any products you see here that, you know, I failed to mention where they came from. Again, because it is stash busting, it's kind of hard to be like, here's a link for this, that, or, you know, the other. But I always try to do my best and let you guys know where I got items. And I'd love to know what you've been up to this summer. If you have any trips coming up, or if you're already in back to school mode, any vacations you already took, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy the close-ups in real time of the finished right side of this spread. All right, that's going to do it for me. I hope to see you next week. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel and I really appreciate it. I would invite you to also subscribe if you're not, and hit the bell. That way you don't miss any of my content. I'll see you next time. Take care, friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye.